Hey there, thanks for joining. Hey Richard, just getting started here, so just a few minutes. I'm trying to figure out why my camera is crooked. Anyway, we are going to get started here in a minute. I'm going to quickly share this to my personal page. Hey everyone, I'm glad you all could join. Let me just get this settled. All right. I'm going to quickly share this and then I'll be right with you. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope you can hear me well because we've got some buskers out on the street singing loudly. It's some sort of a boy band group or something. And you may hear some interruptions tonight. We also have a lot of people milling about here in the wharf. So bear with me, but I did change the time of this to 7 o'clock because last month when I did this at 6:30, it happened to be the perfect timing to be right at the intermission between shows at the cinema, which is upstairs from here. Oh, thanks, Dale. And so they were flushing the toilet and you can hear it coming down. So as I played it back, I realized that that it was kind of through the entire thing. So I shifted it back half an hour. The last show just started at 7, so we should be okay. I'm just gonna quickly share this to my personal page, which is bombarded with birthday greetings because it's my birthday today. And I'm just noticing that one of the funniest and most amazing things about Facebook is how many birthday greetings you get on Facebook, and I love that. So why isn't this sharing? Here we go. I'm posting this now, and it'll be lost in all of those birthday greetings, but just in case anyone sees it pop up. And let's see. Oh, is that Steven? Hey, Drew. Miss you too, man. All right, so I'm going to get started here. Let me just put this down. I hope that worked. So anyway, I'm James Frederick. This is Frederick Studio Provincetown. I'm very excited to bring to you A Quiet Roar, which is a bunch of abstracts that really continue the spirit of a lot of the pieces that I've worked on over the last few years that I called Vivid Tranquility. And it's a body of work that really expresses the bold calmness of Cape Cod. Thank you for the birthday greeting. And what I mean by that is that, you know, the beauty here is really calming and tranquil, but at the same time, it's like overwhelmingly beautiful and bold. So hence Vivid Tranquility, or this particular segment of it, which is called A Quiet Roar, because I really get so much out of it. So I'm just going to look at my list here. I already talked to you about the timing of the show, so it's going to be 7 o'clock. That's what we figured out from here on out. For each month, it'll be 7 o'clock. I am going to open after this for the hybrid portion of this, which is the in-person, but I am going to limit that to 6 people because I really want to keep exposure and risk down. So I'm not doing refreshments, but I will be here till 9 o'clock for anyone to see these pieces in person. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about abstract work. So when I'm painting a representational piece, I'm usually referencing a photograph that I've taken that captures a moment in time, and I really paint to kind of represent that. So I'm guided by the physical attributes of the space, but when I'm painting abstractly, which is what most of this work is, I'm really conjuring up, I'm not looking at a photograph, I'm conjuring up like a mind space, and it's actually either a memory or an emotion or a feeling that I convey through the paint. And so what kind of tools I have with that are color and light and dark, you know, value and composition, And I do this thing where I pull the paint across the canvas to create this excitement, this tension, this interaction with the tooth of the fabric of the canvas. And I love how that creates part of the composition. So I have 10 pieces I'm going to share with you tonight, and 3 of them are pieces that you may have seen before, because 2 of them were included in my Vivid Tranquility show last year. And actually I have more because I have some minis I'm going to show you too. But and then one piece that's right behind me is, pardon me, a piece from this spring, which is actually already collected by someone, but I used it to advertise and promote this show, so I wanted to make sure that you got to see it. So it's called High Tide Crossing, and it's a big piece. So I'm going to step back, come a little closer to the work, and I'll just take you through all of these. So this piece is called, I said, High Tide Crossing, and it's 30 by 30. It's a nice large piece, but the title kind of gives it away a bit. So it's really creating this impression of crossing through the moors at high tide. And it's 30 by 30, so it's a significant piece. I love the saturation of color in this, and I'm hoping that you're getting a good view of it. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see some of the texture. And it's got my trademark little essence of orange, which I feel I see in the light here. So that's why you see it often in a field of blue in my work. So that's the first piece. And then we'll go on to another little piece over here. So I just wanted to, I just wanted to say that when you look at abstract work, a lot of times it's best for you not to have a lot of guidance, because I feel like everyone can see whatever they want to see in the work. And in a way, abstract work is really an empty vessel until it's filled with like your impression of it. So I'm not going to say as much as I often do on these live streams, or I'm going to try not to. It's hard not to want to jump in and control what you're perceiving, but I want you to be able to look at some of these pieces without my narration. So this piece is called Edge of Day, and it's 16 by 20. It's a vertical format, which is nice. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Whoa, or maybe not. There we go. Just so you can see some of the brush strokes. And there we go. Sorry, it's that reversed camera thing that's so hard for me to manage sometimes. So, yeah, that one is called Edge of Day, and it's definitely more representational than the rest of the pieces that you're going to see. Oh, hey, Margaret. So this is the next piece. So let me just zoom back out. There we go. So this piece is 16 by 16. I call it Daybreak. And again, all of these pieces are inspired by the beauty here in Cape Cod, and different day parts and different situations, different memories, but this is called Daybreak. And I really love that square format. You will see me use it quite a bit, both in large and smaller scale. So I'll just zoom in a little to that one so you can see the texture. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. And the color. Daybreak. So with some of these, I think you will get a sense of, if you're familiar with Cape Cod and if you're familiar with Provincetown, you will get a sense of where the inspiration comes from. And if you don't, and you want a little more information about what my inspiration was, I'm happy to jump in and answer. So just post it in the comments if you want more detail, and I will do that. So I'm going to step out so that the exposure corrects. But this is the next piece. It's 22 by 28, and it's called Verdant Thoughts. And it is a nice sized piece in a vertical format. It definitely has some really rich tones. And just so you can kind of see a little more of the detail of that. And again, you see my trademark orange essence happening. So that one is called Verdant Thoughts. So I get a lot of solace and comfort and inspiration from beech forest, and this is inspired by that. So on to number 4, 5, I don't even know. Let me get this set up correctly. Oh, that is blowing out more than it was. There we go. So that piece is called From Out Here, and it's 16 by 16. And even by the title, you might get a sense of what I was thinking, where I was in my mind space as I painted this piece from out here. So if I take my kayak across the harbor and look to the east, southeast, northeast, I kind of feel like I see this sweeping blue and then some interruptions by landmass, by built structure. So that one is From Out Here. So the next one is, it's called A Sweet Rapture, or Sweet Rapture, and it's 30 by 30, and so it's much larger than these other pieces. Again, that square format that I love. And this one goes even a little further abstract. Sweet Rapture. I'm looking for notes. I don't see any questions. Oh, a couple happy birthdays are in there. Awesome. Oh, thank you, Eric. All right, I'm going to move to the next piece, if there aren't questions about that. And this next piece is called Waypoint. So there's a comment here. Let me check it out. Oh yeah, someone just saying that it would be nice for me to speak a little more about the connection to the work. So Sweet Rapture, which was that larger piece we just looked at, is a piece that comes from that kind of moment of joy and ecstasy when I have this realization. I'll show it to you a little bit more. When I have this realization that And, you know, it's been for a while now because I've lived here since 2014, but every now and then I have this sweet ecstasy kind of wash over me because I'm so thrilled with the fact that I'm living here in Provincetown and doing my work. And so this has that kind of richness and balance between light and dark and inspiration and even blockage. I feel like this painting is full of so much. That's the thought behind Sweet Rapture. This piece that we were just looking at, which is Waypoint. There we go. Hopefully it's come back into focus. Yeah, Waypoint is 16 by 16. And for me, the term waypoint, you know, it's a sailing term about having your bearings and your destination. And so for me, it was really about having that moment of being true to yourself, that like internal waypoint. And it's really against this backdrop of the beauty of the color of what you see here in Cape Cod. John, to answer your question about about the Sweet Rapture piece, yes, it was red that you were seeing, more of a red-orange. I don't know if we can see both of those, but this one is definitely more red, and this little portion here is a little more red-orange. But yeah, so I did shift a bit from my usual go-to orange for sure. All right, so now we're gonna move to the next one, just to keep things rolling along. And I can get open at 7:30. So this piece is called Sea Spray. And you may remember this from last year. So I love this piece. It's 22 by 28, and it's got layer upon layer of blue, and this gray blue, and this aerated kind of aqua blue, and it just feels like, for me, the impression of the sea, you know, spraying and moving about. There's a lot of comfort for me in this piece. And keep going without, oh, you're welcome, John. Oh, thank you, Marshall. And let's move on. So this little piece, 16 by 16, it's a little darker in palette than some of the others. And I call it Piercing Solitude. And this piece is really about the nighttime here. So I have friends that I do beach fire with often. And not to be that literal, but this painting is inspired by that little like speck of glowing ember and fire in the midst of a dark seashore. And it also is about how, you know, that kind of spirit can pierce the quiet. So I think this one actually speaks to the title theme more than any of them, a quiet roar. So that's the last of the small pieces. Piercing Solitude. And I'm gonna roll you back, so you can see this giant piece. So this piece too was in Vivid Tranquility last year, and it is such a favorite of mine. So this piece is, it's 5 feet wide by 4 feet tall. It's huge. And just to give you a sense of scale, let's see, I can't really back up far enough, but it's really a giant piece. And unfortunately, the iPhone makes it blow out if certain exposures happen. So I don't know if I can get a better exposure on here of it, but you can see it on my website. The link to all of these pieces are in the description of this video. So you can definitely check it out there. But this is called a choppy day for a paddle. And basically it is, oh, it's all crooked. Oh my God. I took a wonderful paddle out in the harbor with my kayak last summer, and it was really a day where I was able to escape COVID and everything. And I went out there, it was sunny and windy and actually a bit more of a workout than I had bargained for. And I came back into the studio and just painted what I experienced. And it was such an exuberant painting session. I loved it. And I love this piece that is a product of that. So this is called A Choppy Day for a Paddle. And let's see if there's, oh, hey, Laurie, thank you. And I don't see any other comments. So this is a large piece. If you want this piece, I do have to charge you for the shipping part on these oversized pieces, only because typically we have to have a custom crate built. So there are notes about that if you click into the website to see this piece. But anyway, you should see this in person. It's amazing. I'm gonna take you guys off of the tripod now. So get prepared for a jiggly hand. And we are gonna look at some of these minis. So I decided this year to paint a lot of very small paintings. Because I felt like, well, one, they're a lot of fun to do, and two, like they're easy to throw in a suitcase. And I used to do a lot of small paintings, and over the last couple of years, I kind of stepped away from that a bit, and I felt like I wanted to bring it back. So I brought it back mostly in the format of 6x6, and I'm doing all of these framed, where in the past I didn't frame them. So I'm gonna bring the camera in closer. So you can see these. I hope the lighting will work out. But I'm trying to hold the camera. So there's three pieces here. It looks like a bit of a series, but they're sold separately. And I don't know the titles offhand to tell you all what the titles are, but you can see that it's really kind of inspired by sea and sky at different day points. So those are three of the minis that are available. And then there's three more. And again, they all relate to each other, but they're sold separately. And they really do reference more that sense of sky and sea and the horizon line that it creates at different parts of the day. So those are some of the minis that are available. I also have been doing other minis. I have like a little impromptu tour of the studio here. I also do these minis that are like according to some of the other shows I've done. So these are from In the Garden. They're sunflowers, and I've actually done some little pieces that are of the Moors as well. So I'm always doing minis, and there's always small or smaller wood panels as well. So there's always lots of little things that you can pick up here in the studio. So I think I'm done with showing you the show, at least the new work. Are there any questions from anyone? Let's check. No? So thank you for joining me. I just want you to know that the next show will be August 13th at 7, and I am not sure if it's going to be Windward as it says on my website. It may be different, so stay tuned. If you subscribe to my email list on my website, you can do it on the homepage, and then also on the About page. I will be sending updates, but it'll definitely be that day and that time. Potentially could be just a show of my wood panels, because I've been doing a lot of wood panels this year. Or it will be the Windward pieces, which are inspired by sea and sky. Surprise! So anyway, thank you everyone for joining. I don't see any questions. Yeah. So thanks. I'm going to open now for the in-person, up to 6 people at a time, and I'll be here till 9. Thank you.